Imagine waking up to discover that the very system meant to protect sensitive federal court files has been quietly compromised, and the prime suspect is a foreign power. This is more than a technical hiccup. It's an urgent threat to national security, privacy, and the delicate workings of the justice system. Yet, the story gets even more tangled. Investigators have uncovered significant clues suggesting Russian involvement in a significant breach of the computer networks that host confidential documentation for federal courts across the United States. According to reports by the New York Times, this cyber attack exposed critical data, including sealed records and sensitive details about legal cases involving national security risks, potentially unmasking sources, witnesses, and even people facing prosecution for serious offenses. This revelation couldn't come at a more sensitive time, as it coincides with a planned meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russia's President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, where discussions are set to include America's diplomatic moves regarding the war in Ukraine. The timing raises complex questions. Could political tensions be fueling cyber attacks, or is something deeper at play? And here's the part most people overlook. These breaches reached computers in as many as 8 different district courts, causing federal court administrators to scramble into action. According to an internal memo from the Department of Justice, court system administrators recently advised clerks and chief judges to treat this breach with seriousness and urgency. They emphasized that highly skilled cybercriminals, described as persistent and sophisticated threat actors, had managed to break into sealed court records. Officials urged their teams to swiftly move the most sensitive materials out of the compromised system. A massive undertaking considering the amount and nature of data involved. Controversially, details about how classified information was leaked also surfaced. Some reports single out Representative Eric Swalwell, suggesting he was responsible for several leaks and cautioning him to exercise greater care. This point is sure to spark heated debate. How much blame should fall on insiders versus external hackers? In the background, the breach particularly affected federal courts in states like South Dakota, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, and Arkansas. In response, chief judges across the country received quiet instructions just last month. Stop using the standard online document management system for certain cases. And, at least initially, refrain from informing colleagues within their districts about the details. This approach, while protective, opens serious questions about transparency and coordination within the judiciary. As the investigation continues, one of the big unknowns remains. Was this the work of Russian intelligence alone, or were other nations or groups involved? And most provocatively, what about the focus on cases involving individuals with Russian or Eastern European backgrounds? Was it a deliberate tactic to increase mistrust and confusion? The breach is believed to have spanned over a year, with hackers reportedly zeroing in on mid-level criminal activity, particularly in New York and other localities. Officials called for immediate, decisive action, referencing emergency guidelines put into place after an earlier attack in 2021. In response, the U.S. court system has rolled out enhanced cybersecurity measures for its document platforms, including upgrades to the widely used case management electronic PACE files and PACER systems. So here's where we spark some discussion. Do you think the courts are doing enough to safeguard against future attacks? Or are these measures too little, too late? More importantly, how should the justice system balance secrecy and transparency when dealing with such high-stakes digital threats? Share your thoughts. Do you side with tighter controls, or do you believe openness is the better defense? Let's talk in the comments.